thanks for joining us. What did you mean by this cryptic tweet, what the media doesn't want you to know about Michael Jordan?
Well, listen, Dan, and thanks for having me on. It's an honor as always. I blame you in part for this, by the way.
Oh, boy.
Listen, folks have a lot of nostalgia tied to the 90s. It's you and Keith on Sports Center. It was a simpler time, and the unbeatable Chicago Bulls. And I've always tried, like the great Michelle Obama, to go high when others go low. But I've had enough of folks bringing up 2011 and the Mavs series. I've had enough of people talking about finals losses. So I just want to remind people of some facts about Michael Jordan. Did you know Michael Jordan never even had a winning regular season, much less win a playoff series without Scottie Pippen with him? Did you know that Michael Jordan, the only time he ever beat Larry Bird in a playoff game was when Bird was coaching the Pacers? Did you know that in Jordan's entire run, there were 3 teams in the Eastern Conference that had an all-time player on them? Bird's Celtics, Isaiah's Pistons, Shaq's Magic. Jordan's series record against those 3 teams, 2-6. Against everybody else, 23-1. And did you know that after the Pistons' run was over, those next 7 years when Jordan won 5 titles, there was only one team in the entire East, because I was here, LeBron walked over a weak East. There's only one team in the whole East that had more than one Hall of Famer on it. Jordan's team. He's the only guy with a Hall of Fame teammate. Reggie's got a Dutch guy who's 7'4". Patrick Ewing's got John Starks fresh out the grocery aisle, and people act like the East was great. It wasn't. And so I don't want to have to do a smear campaign on Michael Jordan, who without question is at least the 3rd best player ever, but I do what I have to do.
Who is the best player ever, Nick?
Come on, man. Dan, you know the answer to this. The thing is this. We know it's LeBron, and it is going to be, in 25 years, folks aren't going to believe we argued about it. It's like, well, one guy was bigger, he was faster, he was stronger, he did it longer, he did it in a tougher league, he did it when the rules were kind of designed against him. He did it over a far longer period of time. He scored more points. He was obviously the better passer. What were we arguing about? Oh, the other, what was it? And so I don't think anyone can make a credible case that does not involve the phrase 6-0 or bringing up. Now, the 2011 finals is, and I will admit this, it is a meltdown. It is a giant blemish on the resume. But it's been a decade. And since then, he's played in the last game of the year every year, except for the year he tore his groin.
Hey, see, I'm a lost soul full of lots of pain. My father died, turned savage, nothing was the same. Grew cold-hearted, I guess he the one to blame. When niggas turned their back on me, charged it to the game. Mama keep talking to me, told her I'm trying to change. Grandma keep talking to me, told her I'm trying to change. Still hanging in the streets, stacking up my chains. Say it only leads to a cell or early grave. Still hanging in the streets, knee deep, shoot for the stars, don't reach my peak. Steady trying to get me a piece, niggas cruddy, gotta keep me a piece. I'm shooting to put on the sleep, murder ain't kill every beat. Spent 2 racks on my head and my feet, get into it, flip every P. Roll running, how I got paper, belly show love, cause I got haters. Niggas told me stop, but I won't wave it, saw the down bad, won't be a lot greater. A bad boy like Puffy, all my pockets stuffy. Was fucked up, now I'm comfy, came a long way, road was bumpy. Remember days I was bummy, father died as a junkie. Start trapping, making money, they say I'm acting funny. Tryna pull a coupe up, stunting, over hella loud, got me buzzing. Like the pizza man, chocolate buzzing. Bad bitches getting busted, got metaphors and bars. Had a punch a chance since I punched in. Kill shit when it's crunch time, set up shit like crunches. Re-up soon as I'm finished, get them off in bunches. Beat the odds, make cake, turn 1 to a dozen. Hey, see, I'm a lost soul full of lots of pain. My father died, turned savage, nothing was the same. Grew cold-hearted, I guess he the one to blame. When niggas turned their back on me, charged it to the game. Mama keep talking to me, told her I'm trying to change. Grandma keep talking to me, told her I'm trying to change. Still hanging in the streets, stacking up my chains. Say it only leads to a cell or early grave. Fucked up in the head, I was lost. Hope I died ever since I've been off. Got the plug, kept me involved. From a different fabric, different club. Spent 1,000 on these clothes, get 1,000 flipping those. Pain can't let it go. Been years from this you though. Shoot school what made me savage. If you just baby savage. The day I stop, so got an asterisk. The pay I stop, so I take the risk. Since the teen live risky. Mama said I'm sneaky, but hands on wanna feel me. But my ignorance don't kill me, but don't kill you, make you stronger. Your pack mal got something stronger. See that the table can die from hunger. A1 look out for my brothers. Motel rooms got trapped out. Pistol and work at the trap house. Buried some money, so I'm never out. Flood the streets, made it through the drought. Ayy, keep D way how I got my chains. Ran through the streets, mama want me change. I'm going out shooting, I'ma let it sing. Try and make it home, see another day. See, I'm a lost soul full of lots of pain. My father died, turned savage, nothing was the same. Grew cold-hearted, I guess he the one to blame. When niggas turned their back on me, charged it to the game. Mama keep talking to me, told her I'm trying to change. Grandma keep talking to me, told her I'm trying to change. Still hanging in the streets, stacking up my chains. Say it only leads to a cell or early grave.
We've got more work to do if the duo wants to turn their one ring into several rings. For the record, LeBron now has 4 championships. But Shannon, how many more will LeBron win in his career?
And 4 finals MVPs. Let's not let that, hey, a lot of guys got championship, but it's them 4 things that say you the dog. Yeah, that's what it means, Skip Bayless. Let's see. LeBron is about to be 36 in 2 months. I hate predicting this, Skip, because obviously, I mean, LeBron was 26 and he had, he had just won a title. I was like, oh, they're about to win about 3 or 4. But I'm going to say this. If they can stay healthy, I believe they're going to upgrade because Jeannie knows what the hell she's doing, and she's giving Rob Pelinka complete control. And Rob made the promise to LeBron, and LeBron said it. I'll do whatever it takes for us to win a title. And if that means you have to move some pieces, I don't know. They don't have a whole lot of pieces, Skip, because basically everybody was on player options or only had 1-year contracts. Anthony Davis is 27. The impact that LeBron has had on AD, because by December, Skip, AD was out of the playoffs. AD is learning what it is to play hard on a nightly basis. Learning what it is to be counted on and thought of in a top 5 player on a nightly basis. That's one of the biggest impacts that LeBron has had on him, is that he gets an opportunity to see a guy that puts that kind of effort, that kind of into his body, to his game. AD plays hard every night. Skip, I'm not so sure that, AD is like, well, he don't play through injuries. He had this injury in New Orleans. Is he going to play with that heel? Is he going to play with that foot, that sprained ankle? So with that being said, we're at 4. I believe LeBron has 2 more years where he will be either the best player or top 3 or 4 player. I'm going to say they win at least 1, maybe 2 in the next 3 years. 1 to 2 in the next 3 years. I believe they'll win next year.
Okay, which is it, 1 or 2?
1.5.
1.5 is impossible.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like Vegas. Like Fox, man, they give you the over-under, so that way they know good well somebody can't win. You can't win by 3.5 points. You know what, Skip? I'm gonna go conservative. I'm gonna say 1, but knowing the GOAT like I do, that he's gonna probably take a week or 2 off and then be right back in the lab. I'm gonna say he'll win 2 titles in 4 years.
2 and 4, and you think after 4 he'll be out of his prime or whatever, his ability to play at a high level? No, that's when they'll transition, and it'll be AD. So LeBron then, instead of getting his 25, he'll probably get somewhere around 20, but he'll still be able to give you 8, 10 assists a night. Yeah. At nearing age 40. It'll be 38.
28.
Well, 4 years from now, he would be going on.
But I'm
40.
saying 2 years, I believe he'll be in this block where he is right now.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying 2 championships over the next 4 years.
Correct. Because you know the Lakers. People love coming to the Lakers. Big names love coming to the Lakers. They love that.
Okay. I'm going to remind everybody what just happened felt meant to be. Everything broke perfectly for LeBron and Anthony Davis and your Lakers. I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment the way you are, because you finally won something and you can't quit gloating about it or goating about it. And I just want to remind everybody that it couldn't have been easier for LeBron James than the easiest path he's ever had to a ring. The pandemic happened right on time. It wasn't good for anybody but LeBron, to me.
How?
It gave him time to heal up and revitalize and get ready for a playoff run at the end of year 17. It was perfect for him.
But yet it was your guys that had off-season surgery. Kawhi on his knee, Paul George on his shoulders.
They had not played enough together. They were just starting to click. They needed to continue on conventionally, finishing out the season and having to fly back and forth to cities, which LeBron did not have to do, to win a championship. They needed to stay in rhythm and not in a bubble, because you know and I know half the Clippers didn't even want to go to the bubble in the first place. Half were torn about Black Lives Matter issues. Half were torn about just COVID issues. And that team was never together once the bubble started. While LeBron did a great job, that's where he won his championship. He kept his guys together.
Were they ever together?
The Clippers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Really? Okay.
When they beat LeBron and AD in opening night on Christmas Day. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And you hung the banner. Remember how you was chirping? And then on Christmas again, you hung the banner. And I told you what was going to happen to your team. But your head hard.
So the Clippers are not to be written off right now. And I'm going to remind everybody, when the Clippers were playing the Nuggets, every night, Fox Bet had them, and as did all the odds makers in Vegas, had them 8.5 to 9 point favorites every night against the Nuggets. The Lakers started to play the Nuggets, and every night they were 5 or 6 point favorites. So Vegas kept saying to you, the Clippers are better than the Lakers. Vegas picked the Clippers to win it going into the playoffs, but they didn't predict what was going to happen, that the bubble was going to burst for the Clippers.
I predicted what was going to happen.
Okay, you predict every year he's going to win everything, and you finally got one right.
No, don't do that, Skip. Don't do that.
Because they avoided the Clippers.
Skip, don't do that.
Because the Clippers self-destructed. And I'm going to remind everybody, the Clippers in the 3 closeout games were up 16 on the Nuggets and 19 on the Nuggets and then 12 on the Nuggets.
Yes.
It showed you again and again and again, they're so much better than the Nuggets because they're better than the Lakers.
It showed me they're front runners. But what happened, Skip, when the team started executing? And then all of a sudden you couldn't make a shot, but you got those 3. See, what I don't understand, when you got those 3 legendary defenders, I'm trying to figure out how can they still, the Nuggets get anything they want whenever they want when you're down by 19. Pat Bev should be able to lock it down. Remember how he knocked the ball? But knocked the ball out of Jamal Murray's hand. Knocked the ball out of Jeremy Grant's hand.
Yep.
Do something with Yoke.
It's called looking ahead to the Lakers. Your whole reason for being as Clippers was to beat the Lakers. And they had their eyes on the Lakers and took their eye off the ball, which was the Nuggets.
Yeah. How am I going to be worried about another war when I'm fighting a war? Skip, they're fighting a team right now for their lives.
They were up 16, 19, and 12. They thought they were done with these guys.
And they walked them down.
Yep.
Okay, I give you that. Maybe game 5, okay, we got this, we up 16, we're going to look ahead. Okay, game 6, we up 19. Okay, we got this. They can't come back. In a game 7, because game 7, Skip, a tip pass, a buzzer beater, a foul, Skip, they walked you down and they blew you off the court. They beat you by 20.
A lesson learned.
Hey, what lesson you learned?
Yep.
You fired Doc. And you're going to get up off Paul George. But here's the thing that we're going to do, Skip. We don't have a whole lot of pieces because we traded up 3 first-rounders to get AD, that's minuscule. I mean, think about it. The Clippers gave up more to get Paul George than the Lakers did to get Anthony Davis. Let that sink in for just a second. Who won that deal? Swap ain't no swindle, though. But let me tell you this, Skip Baylor. We only really got one piece that we can move. it's hard for me to see a scenario that the Lakers wouldn't be willing to move that piece. And you know that piece.
Yep.
Kuzma.
Okay.
They will move that piece.
I think they're done with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Move him. I kept saying.
Give him Buddy Hield. We'll trade him straight up for Buddy Hield.
Okay. I still believe you don't have a closer, but you never needed a closer because you never got pushed.
Skip, did you just not see what LeBron James did? The man averaged 30, 12, and 9. He averaged 27, 11, and 9 for the entirety of the playoffs. And you talk about we ain't got a closer. Did you see what he did? Did you see what he did in
talking about close games, closer.
Skip.
You had 2 against the Heat and you lost both of them.
Nuggets. Was the Nuggets not a close game?
Game 2 was, and LeBron opted out of the last play, which was called for him, and he hid from the basketball.
Let me ask you a question. Who's your closer in the Clippers?
What have I told you?
What's
Lou Williams. And what happened to him? What did you nickname him?
Lemon Pepper.
Thank you. Okay, that's what happened to Lou Williams. He never wanted to be in the bubble in the first place, and he exited the bubble and wound up at Magic City. He went from Magic Kingdom to Magic City.
Yeah, it's Magic.
And that was the beginning of the end.
You ought to
for
see
my
the shows
Clippers.
in those buildings.
That's
wow.
right. Okay, way to go. So I'm going to remind you, everybody's going to get a little better.
No,
I expect the Nuggets to be better. I expect Jamal Murray to take a superstar step next year.
Well, the big step, if Michael Porter Jr.
Could be.
He gains a little weight.
Yep.
Because his offense is there. Skip, he has to take it a little bit more seriously.
I got
defensive end.
Yep.
But, I mean, we're going to have to, look, we like I said, we got guys on player options, and there are some guys that played themselves into some, some paydays. KCP, somebody might want to come get KCP.
Yep.
And he's going to have to make a decision. Do I want a little extra money, or do I want to try an opportunity to compete for a title year in and year out? Rondo's going to have to make a decision.
Okay.
Keith Marr's going to have to make a decision. Can they upgrade the center position with Dwight and JaVale? Boogie. So is he healthy?
Who loves Luka more than life? This man across
Yeah,
the room. He says he's the next Larry Bird.
Yep.
Well, if he's going to become Larry Bird next year, you don't think they're going to be a threat to the Lakers?
No,
if
stop that.
Stop it?
Stop it.
Well, I don't know. Porzingis gets his knee right?
Yeah. There is no answer for Anthony Davis.
And by the way, who's the hottest team in the bubble? Was the Suns. You don't think they're going to be a threat to everybody in the West? Just watch.
Do you know what we did to the Suns? The Suns don't rise when they play us.
We'll see what happens. Rockets are going to have a new coach,
Okay.
right? And Utah will get Bogdanovich back, and they'll be better. I'm not saying they're a real threat,
Skip,
but
y'all
they'll
ain't
be
got
better.
no Skip. You do realize the Rockets' biggest man is 6'7".
Yep.
So what you gonna win with a 6'7" guy? This ain't college.
You lost one game decisively on your easiest path ever to a ring, and it was at the hands of the Rockets in Game 1 of that series. And I sat here and predicted it before it happened.
And I predicted to you, every time y'all start doing something, you remember that first game when Dame started went dumb, got stupid with it, didn't win another game. You remember when old Russ, he was up, that's what I'm talking about. Rocking the baby and too small, didn't win another game.
Do you remember a guy named Steph Curry? Do you remember another guy named Clay something?
Yeah.
Oh, Clay Thompson. Remember those guys?
I want to know.
I think they still play, and I think they're going to be back.
Okay, of those three guys you named, which one guarding AD and which one checking Bron?
And who's going to guard them?
We're going to put that clamps on them.
Are you? Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Bron's going to sit in that chair.
Oh!
At how old is he now? 38?
Be 36.
Ayy, love my swag, I could call you bitch. Shoot my shot, promise I won't miss. Took the risk, I can't call it quits. Ain't going home when it's hard as shit. Can't suck a day, put my all in this. Can't waste time, put my all in this. Stack paper, put my all in this. Which pop was hit when it's all it is. The hating shit, ain't tolerated. Shit really get a nigga irritated. Painting pictures, I be illustrating. Got a bad bitch like Annihilate. If you knew better, you would do better. Spectacular slick, I'm a cool fella. Spent $1,200 on this new sweater. Design it down with a new level. Build a foundation off a selling pad. If I don't know you, then you getting taxed. And if they go by that a nigga slack. Got chubby pockets, yeah, I'm getting fat. Eating good, got a Gucci belly. Won't be paid in full like I'm on belly. Preach, feed my dogs right out the celly. My pockets green like peas or celery. Got the 9 if I'm approaching beef. Dummy got some shit that knock you off your feet. Making casinos like I hit the wrong key. Been cooked my flow like I was off beat. One foot in, one out, I'm caught in the middle. Had to follow through and face with the limits. Get my point across, I still got my dribble. Never see me fall, my legs getting crippled. Love my swag, I could call you bitch. Shoot my shot, promise I won't miss. Took the risk, I can't call it quits. Ain't going home when it's hard as shit. Can't suck a day, put my all in this. Can't waste time, put my all in this. Stack paper, put my all in this. Which pop was hit when it's all it is. My heart in it, go hard, put my all in. Long way, paper chase, I want it all in. Hard headed, mama said that I'm stubborn. Won't forgive, forget, so hold grudges. One flaw, nigga got forever, fuck you. Quit pistol on me, cause I pull and shoot. Ain't kidding around the same by liking views. Soon as they counted me out, a nigga came through. Used to toss and turn all night. Dreaming about death, life don't come twice. No 2 wrongs, never make it right. It's down in the dark, eventually come to light. Seeing all these deaths made me lose it. Seeing a nigga win it, want me losing. A win is a win, nigga, that's true shit. Still running through packs and making music. Won't let my demons take control of me. Can't let this pain take a toll on me. When even stress, smoke, and all these bogeys. Just fucked up, gotta keep a pole on me. No some real ones stay on go for me. Pray, I never use a go for me. Move my family away, my go homie. I stay down, just me and my homies. Love my swag, I could call you bitch. Shoot my shot, promise I won't miss. Took the risk, I can't call it quits. Ain't going home when it's hard as shit. Can't suck a day, put my all in this. Can't waste time, put my all in this. Stack paper, put my all in this. Which pop was hit when it's all it is.
Purchase this beat.
Those of age may be nodding along with Stephen A. LeBron may not want to hear this.
I got bad news for LeBron James. Consider yourself disrespected because you will never be my number 1. He will be number 2, but not my number 1. It will never be universal because as long as I'm living and breathing, I've got breath in my body and I got a voice and I got vocal cords, you will hear me say LeBron James is no Michael Jordan. Period.
Wow. So there's nothing he can do. That was going to be my next question. There's nothing you could see him doing.
Nothing.
Even if he gets to 6.
Nothing.
How come?
You know why? Do you know why? I tell you what, I apologize. There is one thing he can do. Erase the 6 NBA Finals losses.
I think we all know Stephen A. has vocal cords. That's been well established over the years. Jay, what do you think?
So 3 days after the Lakers win the world championship through a pandemic, congrats, Key, through social injustice, through the season stopping, picking back up, being in a bubble, unprecedented times, the loss of Kobe Bryant, winning it for the Lakers organization, we're choosing to have a conversation to say that about LeBron James? I know we're in the media. I know we have to do our jobs, and there are topics that come up. I know we have to discuss things of that sort. But I truly feel it's so disrespectful to LeBron James, a guy who just won his 4th world championship on his 3rd different team, to all of a sudden then go down and say, this is why LeBron will never, ever be there. Why can't we just praise LeBron for a little bit? How come we can't just say, you did a hell of a job throughout the midst of a pandemic and in a bubble with Anthony Davis, regardless of whoever they had to beat. They still went out, like he would say, and beat the teams they're supposed to beat. I just feel like we constantly get lost in this battle of dissecting art all the time and who's the best and who's the greatest of all time. And he'll never be my number 1. Well, so what? For a lot of other people, he's going to be other people's number 1s. Let's just sit there and applaud him for at least a little bit, at least more than 2-3 days before we start dismantling him, saying that he's never going to be the greatest and making him feel less than appreciating his greatness. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know that he feels less.
I'm not saying that he feels us. I'm just saying before we start spewing out, we can't even, like, there's no, at least could there be some boundary time, Key? Can it be like a week before we start going into automatically?
Man, you said this is the business, right?
But man,
it's the business. This is what it is. He can't erase the 6 that defeats. But Jordan can't add the other 4 to his resume either at getting to the championship because he didn't get there. LeBron got there 10 times, man. I don't care what nobody say. He got there 10 times. He got there 10 times.
This is an age debate. You said it before the show. This is simply an age debate. If you are of Stephen A's age, or frankly, go ahead.
But Zubin, don't be talking about me.
So the 4-6 record, 2 of those losses were against KD, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry. I've heard Stephen A. Smith say the best backcourt to ever play the game.
But I don't care about
Kevin Durant. Wait. Kevin Durant, the most prolific scorer at 7 feet I've ever seen play the game. The 2 of those losses. The 3rd loss came without Kyrie and Kevin Love, who both got hurt.
2015 finals.
Yes. So it's like, are we not going to give the reasoning into this? And I know Jordan was 6-0 in the finals, but man, before that, from his rookie year until 1989-90, they were 24-29 in the playoffs. Like, that's not good. But we only talk about 6-0. We don't talk about all the things he led. I'm not even getting into that. All I'm saying is provide context now to how you lost. I'm still saying the Golden State Warriors team they lost to 2 times was the greatest team ever assembled. Scoring-wise, never seen a team like that before in my life. I don't think a lot of basketball people, even if you're a savant, go back history, we never seen a team like that.
Key, I would just say from a football corollary, there's something about, and I'm not justifying it, Jay, but there's something about being unblemished. 6-0, 6 finals MVPs. You could say whatever you want about Joe Montana. The fact that he's 4-0 in the Super Bowl, even though Brady's lost some, never threw a pick in a Super Bowl. There's just something about that perfection, even though he hadn't got there 10 times. There's something about that perfection that resonates with people.
Yeah, perfection is it is what it is, right? That you want perfection if you can get it. But LeBron been to the championship 10 times. I'm a Michael Jordan fan, okay? To the point where I wore a knee brace and never anything was wrong with my damn knee.
Walking with your tongue out.
Yeah. So when you think about it, you can have the argument with Michael Jordan, LeBron James. If you want to argue Kobe Bryant, you certainly can. You can argue Kareem Abdul-Jabbar too. He was just on the show yesterday. You read his resume.
Yeah.
How you gonna talk basketball and greats? It never meant they fly right over the cap. Like the cap didn't even exist.
Wait, Zubin, what was your comment about Joe Montana and Tom Brady? Joe Montana never threw a pick?
In the Super Bowl and 4-0.
Okay, but is Joe Montana your greatest of all time?
I think he is.
Okay, well, a lot of other people have Tom Brady, right?
Man, look, man, I like them both. Okay? I like them both.
Okay.
I'm not going to get caught up in if I like one more than the other. I'd take them both.
I just think we need to start addressing that conversation like that, Key. That's what I'm saying.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.
See, I think we got one. Nah, I hear you. Hey. Spiffy little Kenny, man. Hey. Out in the morning, trying to get to it, I'm a road runner. Plug on to me, gotta get him off, I'm a road runner. Been took the risk, cause I gotta eat, I'm a road runner. You see all this money, my pockets full, I'm a road runner. Out in the morning, trying to get to it, I'm a road runner. Plug on to me, gotta get him off, I'm a road runner. Been took the risk, cause I gotta eat, I'm a road runner. You see all this money, my pockets full, I'm a road runner. Can't set a weight, gotta get to it. Plug throwing loads, always run through them. Ain't talking money, I'ma ignore them. Stack money, check my stats, I perform. Road running, switching states like I'm torn. Everything foreign, hopping out phones. Always been awkward, never did the norm. Bippin' try and win, then I go record. Ain't taking breaks, gotta get it all quick. Doing pickup, drop offs like Liv. Listen, now my game plan to get rich. Shooters on deck, know the haters set. Face high stakes, came through in the clutch. Put on work, never thought giving up. Run it wrong, then my shooters gon' bust. Risk it all, that's why I got drug my nuts. Ayy, got money rolling, pockets swollen, diamonds frozen. We bring them hoes in. Money rolling, my pockets swollen, my diamonds frozen. We bring them hoes in. Out in the morning, try and get to it. I'm a road runner. Plugged on to me, gotta get them off. I'm a road runner. Been took the risk, cause I gotta eat. I'm a road runner. You see all this money, my pockets full. I'm a road runner. Out in the morning, try and get to it. I'm a road runner. Plugged on to me, gotta get them off. I'm a road runner. Been took the risk, cause I gotta eat. I'm a road runner. You see all this money, my pockets full. I'm a road runner. Don't get attitudes, I catch altitude flights every week, trying to stick and move. And Reynolds with the pecs, fucking with the crew. Only up from here, I don't think I'll lose. 1,000 on the bags and the vacuum seals. Won't know I got it when it's vacuum sealed. Ride with it all day, trying flipping pill. Young go getter like taking milk. Want some shit with Vontae, slick and trill. Tell you about them long nights in the field. Plug chose me off the trust we built. God keep it on me, I ain't trying to get killed. Stack the honey bun, cause I'm a road runner. Switching lanes, I be road running. Taking risks, all I know is hustling. Week after week, lows coming. Do what I want, I stay stunting. Never going broke, fuck struggling. Was down bad, I know the struggle. Ain't gotta spin to get it on the muscle. Found a way to get my bands up. Gotta flow, watch it count up. Ain't gotta be round and watch it add up. Perkin' lean in me, bet I wear out. Out in the morning, try and get to it. I'm a road runner. Plugged on to me, gotta get them off. I'm a road runner. Been took the risk, cause I gotta eat. I'm a road runner. You see all this money, my pockets full. I'm a road runner. Out in the morning, try and get to it. I'm a road runner. Plugged on to me, gotta get them off. I'm a road runner. Been took the risk, cause I gotta eat. I'm a road runner. You see all this money, my pockets full. I'm a road runner.
The reason that I feel LeBron is the GOAT is because during pressure times, he still makes the actual right decision versus what us fans and the public wants him to do. You know, and that's what separates, you know, him from Jordan and Kobe, where if you give Jordan and Kobe those Cavs teams, they wouldn't have made the playoff. They wouldn't have made it to the championship because Jordan would have just averaged 60 and said, the hell with it. This is Gilbert Arenas.
Arenas for three.
About to break down the king, one and only, LeBron James. What really made me fall in love with LeBron's play was, we're in the playoffs, it was game 5, 4 minutes left. And I picked up something in what he did. It kind of changed the series. He was playing decoy, and you know, we thinking our game plan is shutting them down. And then he looks over at the bench and then gives them the nod. And the nod ended up subbing Ilgauskas out. We subbed out Brendan Haywood. And when Brendan Haywood subbed out, LeBron James attacked that basket.
Once again, James on a post-up, up fake.
But why I fall in love with it is, he decoyed to give everybody else a chance to get involved into the game before he took over. And I just thought that was just like special, because as soon as I got on the court, I didn't care who was on the court, I'm chucking.
Arenas from way downtown.
I'm shooting, I'm trying to be aggressive. Knowing that he needed these players throughout this game, he let them eat during moments of the game while he took a back seat. It took the whole summer to understand what he was doing and realize that was brilliant. To decoy yourself, to get everybody involved, get everyone plays, then you take over, then decoy again, then decoy. Then I realized we never actually guarded this guy. When he wasn't scoring, it was him decoying. He could have scored 70 against us. He could score 70 against everybody else. So what ends up happening is when you actually think you're guarding LeBron, you're actually not guarding LeBron. He's just in decoy mode, letting everybody else get a feel for the game. And that's when I was like, okay, I like this guy. from, year 17, 18 to year 1, what set LeBron apart was, his IQ, was his ability to adapt, ability to read. That's what we didn't understand when we was first matching up in the playoffs against him, how smart he really was. So there were times where we're leaving a certain guy open, knowing that no one in their right mind will pass it to him, which he would.
Good defense there by no look inside to Williams, and he let it in, and he's fouled.
And the outcome was great. His film breakdown where I'm watching him at home, he understood the game very well, but I didn't understand and didn't realize then he's willing to sacrifice his name, his integrity of, being bashed to make the right play.
And right back in the hands of LeBron James. Here's your trap. They get it out of his hands. Hughes, Damon Jones puts it in with 4.8 remaining.
Damon Jones didn't play Game 5, nor Game 6 comes in for the last, 20 seconds of the game. We're gonna leave Damon, he's not gonna pass to Damon Jones. Damon Jones hasn't shot the ball in 2 games, and he actually makes that pass, which shows that he believes in his teammates, which gives them the sense that we believe in ourselves too. Jordan would have just averaged 60 and said, to hell with it. He wouldn't have still gave the ball to J.R. Smith after J.R. Smith done did what J.R. Smith has done. But because he still believes in his teammates, they still believe in themselves too during crucial time. And that's what makes LeBron the GOAT. I think that we were spoiled by Jordan.
Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
The grace he brought to the game, his fierceness, the way he ended games. And when Kobe came, we seen Jordan-like. So what ends up happening is when you have a player like LeBron who comes into the game, who doesn't have the instincts of Jordan and Kobe, they're gonna take that last shot no matter what. We feel that if you're the best player, you're the star. You're compared to Jordan and Kobe, you should be Jordan and Kobe-like, which is not necessarily correct. Jordan and Kobe possessed something LeBron didn't have, which was a first step, which made them one-on-one players. LeBron came in as Magic Johnson, meaning his vision is his key. As someone who loved Michael Jordan and Kobe, we get mad and we want to knock him because he's using his vision when we allow them to use their one-on-one skill to finish plays. It's unfair to say you can use your one-on-one skills, but you can't use your gift. You can't use your vision. You can't see the open man. You're supposed to chuck the shot up, and if it goes in, we're gonna cheer you on. And if you miss it, we're gonna say, he don't have it. No, this is what makes him great. The ability to see the open guy if he's not the open guy. Just like Jordan made himself the open guy. But we didn't knock him when he passed it to Steve Kerr. He didn't pass it to him knowing he was gonna make the shot. He passed it to it hoping he would make that
Set a screen, James goes the other way, drives down the lane, back out to Green. Green for 3, off the mark, no good.
So you have Morris and Hope running off of AD for decoy, and then Anthony Davis, a down screen for LeBron coming up for the ball. Now you have LeBron and Jimmy Butler's guarding him. I'm pretty sure Danny Green was supposed to actually set a pick so Duncan Robinson can switch on him. So LeBron James has to react. Now, pause right now. Now, this is very important to viewers at home. I'm laughing because it's just a horrible look at this point. You have a corner shooter in Twin who has his hands on his knees. I don't know if he's tired. I don't know if he's I don't know what he's doing, but he's not actually ready to shoot. So when people at home are judging LeBron off of his decision, you have to look at it all as it plays out. You have the Twin, hands on his knees, not ready to shoot, can't pass at him. You have Crowder, who actually interrupts LeBron's shot here. So the fact that he actually digs for the ball kind of throws off LeBron's shot attempt. Now, I'm pretty sure if you're a LeBron's fan, you've actually never seen LeBron go right and actually do a running. He's never done a floater. He's never really been a floating type of guy. So what ends up happening is the dig by Crowder kind of throws off of his rhythm. So if he would have actually took this shot, I'm pretty sure it would have been 12%, which the actual play now is back to Danny Green. So me saying that, I wouldn't have passed it, I wouldn't have, but I wouldn't have put myself in this situation in the first place. So for us to actually say what LeBron did is a bad decision, I would have took it if you pause it right here and look at the pass he made. If Danny Green makes this shot, LeBron made the best decision that he could ever had made, which is the only decision he was supposed to make. He's watching film on top of film on top of film. What most people do in the playoffs, he does every single game. So he knows the ins and outs of all your plays, where you're supposed to be, where you don't supposed to be. You know, when you try to trick him by calling a play, he's gonna pick up on it and say, that's not one of their plays, and tell you where you're supposed to be. I understood that when I was at his house watching him watch our play. And because I'm a gray area player, I knew, well, he's gonna know every single play it's supposed to be. So therefore, for us to, have a one-up on him, we have to go off script sometimes. If you don't understand the game and film and breakdown, you're gonna go into the game behind in LeBron's mind.
James on the drive!
And there you have it. That was the breakdown. This is Gilbert Arenas on Whistle Sports.
See, I think we got one. Hey. Hey. Spiffy little kitty, man. I ain't finna tell you how I got away with this shit. Shit, I don't know where to begin. Hell on earth, I'm a demon. Fuck with you, well, that depends. Don't want them think that I need them. So that good and that decent. Strapped up on the defense. Run the streets, I need deep in. Swim with sharks on the deep end. Shit, I don't know where to begin. Hell on earth, I'm a demon. Fuck with you, well, that depends. Don't want them think that I need them. So that good and that decent. Strapped up on the defense. Run the streets, I need deep in. Swim with sharks on the deep end. Money problems got me thinking. Try stay afloat, fuck sinking. Gotta win, let that sink in. Gotta wake 'em up, cause niggas sleeping. Stressing, smoking, and I'm drinking. Went through a phase, popping pink tints. Can't be late, fuck a pink slip. Can't fold a tell, cause that's some weak shit. Raised by some real ones on some real shit. So run with dealers trying to deal shit. Took a loss, been going through some deep shit. Still swim with sharks on the deep end. Turned it up a notch, hit the kill switch. Niggas play bent, we gon' kill shit. Streets cruddy, make me have no feelings. Should cop the coupe with no ceilings. Hop out looking like something to see. Stuntin' hard shit ain't nothing to me. Earned everything, nothing come free. Keep a pistol, ain't nothing to beef. Hop out, look like something to see. Stunt hard shit ain't nothing to me. Earned everything, nothing come free. Keep a pistol, ain't nothing to beef. Shit, I don't know where to begin. Hell on earth, I'm a demon. Fuck with you, well, that depends. Don't want them think that I need them. So that good and that decent. Strapped up on the defense. Run the streets, I need deep in. Swim with sharks on the deep end. Shit, I don't know where to begin. Hell on earth, I'm a demon. Fuck with you, well, that depends. Don't want them think that I need them. So that good and that decent. Strapped up on the defense. Run the streets, I need deep in. Swim with sharks on the deep end. I measured twice, cut once. So breaking down, bagging up. I grab the scale, weigh it up. Money came, pocket stuff. Nice chains, diamonds cut. Miss a nice watch, gon' stunt. Need a drop top, roof cut. Apply pressure, run it up. They say I'm special, kinda rare. Design it down, they gon' stare. Get my chicks bags, nails and hair. Buy shoes and travel anywhere. Try knock them down by the square. For them rainy days, I'm prepared. So hitting sales a major player. Pulling bips out the air. Paid $3,000 for this jacket. Can have all my eggs in one basket. Spread it out so feds can't track it. Tap in, my shooters gon' blast it. Plugged in with bosses really trapping. Got a number and I'm catching. With a sitting full, I'm just asking. Been cashing out, bringing cash in. Shit, I don't know where to begin. Hell on earth, I'm a demon. Fuck with you, well, that depends. Don't want them think that I need them. So that good and that decent. Strapped up on the defense. Run the streets, I need deep in. Swim with sharks on the deep end. Shit, I don't know where to begin. Hell on earth, I'm a demon. Fuck with you, well, that depends. Don't want them think that I need them. So that good and that decent. Strapped up on the defense. Run the streets, I need deep in. Swim with sharks on the deep end.
on his way to winning 72 games, after that to win the championship, the all-time record at the time of the regular season, he swept a 60-win Shaq Penny team in their primes, swept them, goodbye, and then beat a 64-win team with Gary Payton and Sean Kemp in the finals. These were 60-plus win teams. He beat the Stockton and Malone teams twice. He beat the Magic Johnson James Worthy team when he first won his first title. This idea that Jordan went against soft competition, the reason it seems that way is because a lot of those cats didn't win championships because Jordan beat them. That's why they didn't win championships, because they had to play in the Jordan era.
Max, first of all, I never said Jordan went against soft competition. I never said that. That never came out of my mouth. But what I do know is that I came in the league with LeBron James in 2003. And the league was physical. The league still had guys like Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal, Steven Jackson, Shaq, Gary Payton. All these guys were still in the league. The league was physical. The league was physical. Yeah, from 2003 to 2011. No, from 2003 to about 2012. Max, first of all, I just told you that championships should not define, it should play a major part.
Yes, they should.
But it should not define the whole, should not write the whole story. This is not an individual, this is not an individual sport, Max, no matter how you want to say it.
It's not the only thing, but it's a big thing. And Stephen A., you're right. You can't hold all the losses in the finals against LeBron. Like, you can't hold going up against that Warriors team with KD. Who was going to beat that team? Throw those two out. The first time he made the finals with the Cavs, all credit to LeBron for making the finals. The first time they lost to the Warriors, Kevin Love and Kyrie got hurt. Credit to LeBron for taking it 6. But the first loss against Dallas and Miami and the last loss against the Spurs in Miami, those were loaded teams, no excuses. Jordan never lost a series like that.
All of that?
When Jordan was loaded, he never lost series like that.
All of that just to say you agree with me? Why didn't you just say, Stephen, I agree with you? That's exactly what I said, Max. I mean, I understand, but the bottom line is at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter.
For the Spurs
what it comes down to is LeBron James and MJ, like Kendrick Perkins said, they eating at the same dinner table. I'm not going to refute that, KP. So you can lift up your head and stop looking depressed, Pastor Perkins. No, all I'm saying is that they eat at the same dinner table. But he ain't MJ.
Look, and I'm not. Listen here, Stephen A. and Max. This is what y'all failing to realize. I'm a fan of Michael Jordan's, right? But like I said, we could go. You could come down here to Texas, and I'll take you straight to the swamps, old country Beaumont where I grew up at, and we can go talk with all my great uncles, and they go argue you down and say Kareem is the greatest of all time. Then when we get to y'all generation, you and Matt, pushing that 50 line, y'all go talk about Michael Jordan.
Kareem's at the table
but
too.
When it comes to my generation, I didn't say he wasn't. Max, can I finish? I'm just telling you, it could be an argument or a debate. It's just on what you prefer. What part of that you don't get?
Yeah, but Jordan's at the head of the table, Perk.
Jesus
Jordan's
Christ.
at the head of the table.
Oh, man,
Bill Russell,
Max.
Kareem, and LeBron are there. Jordan's at the head of the table. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.
Spiffy Lil Kenny, man. Yes, man. I said, hey, stay down to come up. Run the trap, my pocket stuff. Got bad bitches, you try fuck. Keep big guns, don't plot on us. Let it die down, then hit you up. Earn my spot, can't give it up. Made it count, thought I was done. Keep it on me, niggas know what's up. The load in, now I'm trying flush. I love this shit, can't get enough. The load in, now I'm trying flush. I love this shit, can't get enough. The load in, I'm trying flush. I love this shit, can't get enough. The load in, I'm trying flush. I love this shit, can't get enough. To win the game, I'm a bit player. Plays calling for these P flavors. Know some certified bricklayers. Dick them down, I'm a bitch slayer. Got my bars and words, do no capping. So style and designer, I love fashion. See, I came up off work, I love dragging. I've been connected, shit everlasting. Keep my tone, I'm quick to spray. Just set the tone or push the pace. Watching my phone, got cushion cake. My watch got stones, respecting face. Neck got ice, but think it's broke. Been flexing so much, can't say I'm broke. Started with a crime, now got low. Bread stacking up, got keep a pole. The birds of a feather, flocking together. Sure to get cheddar, hit plays whatever. Had to boss up, no life is levels. Till I reach goals, no I won't settle. Anything worth having, don't come easy. Stayed in the trap, while niggas turn greedy. Put myself in position, now the streets need me. Wanna sick niggas, all my bitches needy. Stay down to come up, run the trap. My pocket stuff, got bad bitches, try and fuck. Keep big guns, don't plot on us. Let it die down, then hit you up. Earn my spot, can't give it up. Made it count, thought I was done. Keep it on me, niggas know what's up. The load in, now I'm trying to flush. I love this shit, can't get enough. The load in, now I'm trying to flush. I love this shit, can't get enough. The load in, I'm trying to flush. I love this shit, can't get enough. The load in, I'm trying to flush. I love this shit, can't get enough. Only money moves in my car log. Ain't about money, what you call for. Once it's beef on, can't call it love. Shooters taking shots like ball hogs. When we shoot shots, ain't gotta get permission. Once it's roll, we blitz on the mission. Drop a bag on you, bet you go missing. Shooting shots, ring, better clear the attention. Go Glock for Glock, dollar for dollar. Can't be for no money, niggas violent. Get go too far, bad niggas find you. Get your back door, bad niggas lying. Try violate, bad niggas special. The heat on can fold under pressure. Keep heat every day, you nothing special. Don't need validation, bet I bless you. Can't hang with fuck niggas, can't fuck around. Got more than exes, don't fuck with clowns. Used to go over heads, had to dumb it down. Niggas telling real, going out of style. Got money and power, shoot about respect. Tryna hold this shit down for real ones left. Stay down and come up, ran up a check. Bust up, made it count, ain't finished yet.
There's a lot of discussions for years about who's the greatest of all time, and I want to go to my friend Chris Broussard, Fox Sports NBA analyst, who's joining me now live. I'm going to put it this way. How about if I just said this? Michael is a better version of Kobe, and LeBron is a better version of Magic. And that means Michael and LeBron are 1-2. We can all argue over it, but their games are not the same. For a long time, I thought Magic was number 2 to Michael. LeBron's a better version of Magic, and Michael is a better version of Kobe. Is that fair?
That's very fair. I actually would agree with that. That's right on the money. Kobe was exactly like Michael Jordan, except not quite as good. He was like a facsimile of Jordan, but not as good as the original. LeBron is not as much like Magic as Kobe is like Michael, but he's very similar. He's a pass-first guy, but not quite the passer that Magic was. I mean, Magic was an out-of-this-world passer, much better than LeBron and anybody else that ever played the game. But LeBron is a better scorer than Magic. He's more athletic. He's a better defender. But they both made their teammates better. Obviously, Magic had great talent with him from day one with Kareem and then James Worthy later on and other great players. But even when Kareem was done, Magic carried that team to the finals.
Yeah.
You know, with Vlade Divac and some other guys that weren't, you know, Hall of Fame type players other than James Worthy. So they're very similar in that. But we still have to answer the question. We can't stop it there. Okay, you want to pull a Jeff Van Gundy and say, well, one has a better career, but one's a better player, one's the GOAT. No, we still have to settle it. And right now, it was great last night what LeBron did. I would take nothing away from him. It edges him a little bit closer, but he's still number 2, and Michael Jordan is number 1.
By the way, though, isn't it more impressive? It's one thing, and I'll make this argument. Michael needed Scottie and Phil. LeBron just needs a ball. He won with a wing. He won with a point guard. He won with a big. He won with 4 different coaches. Is that Michael needed things to work, or he couldn't even get to the finals. LeBron doesn't need anything.
Well, I have often said if LeBron had a historic coach, and all the guys he's compared to had either Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, or Greg Popovich. LeBron didn't have any of those guys. If he had one of those, I do think he'd have more championships. And maybe then the discussion would be reversed and he'd be viewed as the GOAT by most people. But let's remember this too. Phil Jackson was not Phil Jackson when he went to Michael Jordan. Okay, he was just some guy who had coached the Albany Patroons and was a favorite of Jerry Krause. That's it. So Michael Jordan played a large role in making Phil Jackson who he was. And then once Jordan gave him the sign off and said, he's the only coach I want to play for, now that makes it easier for Phil to coach Shaq and Kobe and guys going forward because he's got that respect and credibility. So I also say this. I've always said that LeBron, even more than Michael, LeBron could take a lesser group of players and lift them higher. But LeBron's had trouble getting those teams over the hump. When he's won championships, he's been stacked. I mean, in Miami, he had 2 Hall of Famers the first championship, 3 Hall of Famers the second championship as teammates. Of course, he won it with Kyrie and Love. Kyrie will be a Hall of Famer probably if he stays healthy. Love, maybe. And then this time he's got Anthony Davis, and Rajon Rondo might be a Hall of Famer. So let's not act like LeBron has just carried anybody to championships. He can carry anybody to deep playoff runs, occasionally the finals, but to win it, he's needed big-time help too.
We used to kind of roll our eyes when people would say LeBron's going to play with Bronny. He's going to play with his son. And now I'm like, he's going to play through his son's first free agency. When you look at Father Time and LeBron, he's going to be the first or second best. He's going to be the best player in the league next year, right? Like, we're acknowledging that, right? Next year he'll be the best player in the league again.
He certainly starts the season as that. I mean, we'll see. Does he diminish as time goes on? But yes, when the season starts, LeBron James will be the best player. No question about it.
Wow. So let's go back to the Kareem and Magic thing. Do you think, you have a lot of sources in the league. I do think LeBron's really smart about scaling. Like Tom Brady chose Tampa Bay because they had more weapons. He didn't have to carry them. I do think, I wonder if LeBron sits down with Frank Vogel and Rob Pelinka this offseason. And LeBron's never been a guy that ducks games. But do you think the conversations will begin like, listen, AD can play 76, I'm going to play 70, that LeBron at least starts to understand? Because I think the bubble showed me one thing, that when LeBron doesn't have to be in an airplane constantly, his energy is through the roof. I've never seen him this energized in 5 or 6 years. And I wonder, I guess what I'm asking you is, did the bubble perhaps, because LeBron's a thinking man's player, does LeBron look at this bubble and think, man, when I don't have to be on planes, my energy is, I got more energy than Jimmy Butler at the end. Right. I wonder if this bubble, LeBron sits back there in his rubber ducky in his swimming pool out in the, Pacific Palisades, and he's like, maybe I should start playing 62 games. Seriously, I wonder if LeBron thinks about that.
No, look, I don't think he'll ever do the load management Kawhi style, but I could see 70 games, somewhere between 70 and 76 games. I think that makes a lot of sense. I also think, Colin, one thing I noticed during the bubble and especially in the finals, LeBron James was great in the system that the Lakers were running, but he wasn't the system. And for the bulk of his career, he has been the system where he is creating everything. He's getting the assist, the bucket, or the hockey assist. And this year, he was more playing within the system. AD was, dominant at times. Rajon Rondo was running the offense. There were possessions when LeBron didn't touch the ball. And I think that's great. I actually think that if LeBron had been a part of the system throughout his career, he'd probably have more championships because it's tougher for other guys that can really do their thing to play when LeBron's the system. And you just got to kind of fit in around him. But my point is, I brought that up because I think that will be less taxing on him too. If he plays this way going forward, he's the point guard, he's running the show, he's getting everybody involved, but everything doesn't revolve around LeBron. They run through AD. When Rondo's in there, LeBron can play off the ball. That will put less strain on him physically and mentally. And I think that'll help him stay elite for a longer period of time as well.
So you have Michael 1, LeBron 2. Is Magic your third best player ever?
Kareem 3, Magic 4. And I saw something a while ago about Kawhi being 5, but I can't go there.
That was on my show. All right, I got LeBron and Michael tied at 1. I got Magic 3. Ooh. I got Kareem 4, Wilt 5, Kobe 6, Bird 7, Akeem 8, Shaq 9, Duncan 10. Did I miss anybody? I didn't see Oscar Robertson play. That's not fair. That's not fair.
That's a good 10. That's a good 10. I'm surprised. So you got, I don't like leaving this show with a tie between Jordan and LeBron. I mean, come on.
I didn't see Oscar Robertson play or Bill Russell, so it's hard for me to make a judgment. I know Russell's in everybody's 10, but
yeah, you didn't have Russell in there. The 11 rings are crazy. I know he only averaged 15 points and 22 rebounds, 44% shooting from the floor. So he wasn't, his individual numbers outside of the rebounds and blocks aren't crazy, but the 11 rings is hard to turn down.
Okay, you got.
I would have to put Russell in the top 10.
All right. I put Akeem one slot ahead of Shaq because I saw them play each other, and Akeem gave Shaq fits.
Ooh.
I know. It sounds crazy.
That was a young Shaq.
It was not pretty. Shaq acknowledged, I can't cover him. Akeem gave Shaq problems. All right, we got to get out of it. I just sit and talk this thing all day. He looks so professional. Chris Broussard, we'll bring him on. You'll talk to us soon. Thanks, buddy. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.
Really made.
They love it when I turn up the bass. They love it when I turn up the bass.
Yeah.